Alright, so this is going to be a bit of an impromptu video. It's just something that I wanted to do and that I've been thinking about for a little bit. So, Steve Fox got a new voice in Tekken 8, and a lot of people don't like it, myself included. And I think one of the reasons that it's not well liked is because it's different, but different isn't necessarily a problem or a flaw in and of itself. People are always going to like something that they've grown accustomed to, and so it's to be expected that people don't like it when things change. But I don't think it's, I don't think people would have an issue with it if they just went in a different direction with that change. And so the main change that Steve Fox has in Tekken 8 in comparison to previous iterations of the character is he just talks a lot during gameplay now. Like, he just talks a whole bunch.
No more playing around. Now this is what I call fun. And that's a knockout. Good night.
So it's pretty clear the Tekken team had a vision for this character, and the vision for this character is not the same as the fans want from this character. But that's okay. Sometimes, you know, the creators of the character have a vision that you don't like as the consumer. I don't like this change. I think it was a bad change. I don't think it's cool or fun to play, but it's just something that they went with. And so, within reason, what are some things they could have done differently if they wanted to approach this idea of Steve Fox being a particularly talkative character? Okay, so instead of just complaining and not providing any solutions and just, you know, being like, my character's not the same, boo-hoo, let me approach it from a different angle. So, one of the reasons that I'm drawn to this character, at all, and I think this character is cooler than a lot of the other members of the cast, is that he is representative of martial arts in a way that a lot of characters aren't. So, just by doing this, we're already in La La Land. Like, this is not representative of martial arts at all. You know, like, from the jump, this is not representative of martial arts. There's no juggles. This is already way out of control. But one of the reasons that he feels like he's has more of a semblance in reality is because of this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That right there.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is cool. That's him talking, by the way. Like, the main criticism that people have of Steve Fox is that he talks a lot. This is him talking.
2, 3, 4.
But when he does that, it's really cool because it's representative of martial arts. There is a semblance of realism in the character here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Because if you've trained in martial arts for any period of time, you know that combinations and calling out combinations when you're hitting the mitts or bag work or whatever, that having called out combinations is really important to your training. You want to be able to do this because you don't want to call out like lead jab, rear hand, hook, uppercut. You don't want to call those things out. You want to say it fast, like 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to say those things really quickly, so that you know, the attacks can keep coming. This is a very, you know, martial arts thing right here. And so, instead of doing more of this, no more playing around, or eat this, finish, maybe the Tekken team could have gone in a different direction and maybe went more this direction, and the fans would have liked this more. Okay, so what are some potential changes? Instead of complaining all day, let me list off some things that I actually like for the new voice. I have 2 things that I like. This part, this sucks. I hate this. Buddy! But this one is cool. I like this one. So what do I like this one? Because it has some semblance of reality in it, right? Just like this does. You know, the 1, 2, 3. So there's a semblance of reality here in this one. Because he's going for the body. He's calling out the body. He's calling out an intended strike like this. This, that sucks. But this, he's intentionally calling out his strike. And he's going for the body, like something that makes sense within the context of martial arts. And I like this one. Sorry. It gets across character in a way that this doesn't. This gets across a lot of character. Like he's faux apologetic. Like he's not sorry at all, but he's gonna say that he's sorry. This gets across character, so I like that, and I like that voice line for Body. So instead of him saying all the dumb stuff that he says in like this, like that, so I think it would be cooler if he says more stuff like this. So intentionally attacking body parts. So you could maybe you could approach the idea of him going for the body, going for the head, or going for specific parts. So if we're going to make him talk a lot, and we're going to go with the idea that he's attacking specific body parts as a way to make him talk, rather than him, you know, doing these very fighting game kind of things, pretty goofy, we could go for like spleen, sternum, liver, kidney, something like that. And you could also approach the idea of having this character talk more and just make this the talkative character. You could have him talk when he goes for the dirty boxing, because this is, you know, he's cheating here, but, you know, Steve Box doesn't really care. And in Tekken, a lot of these characters are either outright evil or like shady characters anyway, so it doesn't really matter that Steve's, you know, dirty boxing. But you could give him voice lines when he goes low like this, and I find that particularly interesting, that that's something that is completely absent. So they made this character talk a lot, but he shuts up when he is cheating. I think that's interesting. You could have done something here and gotten across character by him, you know, maybe instead of talking while he's doing stand-up, he talks trash on you when he's, you know, cheating. I think that could be interesting. That could get across a lot of character if we're going to give him more voice lines like this. You know, if we're going to give him more voice lines in general, then I think there's interesting avenues to explore for this character. Overall, like, I don't mind that this character is different. Like, that's not the problem. It's just in the execution. I just don't think a lot of people, you know, myself included, really like the direction they went with. It's not that it's different at all, so therefore bad. I think this guy, the guy who's voicing him, the new voice actor, isn't even a bad voice actor at all. I think he's okay. It's just that the direction they went for the character and the voice direction, and, you know, the things behind the scenes and the choices they made are more important to why it's disliked, rather than Steve talks more and Tekken 8 therefore is bad. It's like, it's just what they chose feels different in a poor way, not feels different in a neutral or good way. It feels worse to play this character, unfortunately, and this character is really cool. So it's unfortunate that they went with the route they did. My personal biggest problem is that the changes they made don't get across character in a way that the previous iterations of the characters weren't already doing better. These weren't glamorous, but they meant something. These are something that only he really does. So by having a semblance of realism in the design, Steve already is different from the rest of the cast. And as he's getting across a lot of character by doing this. And then a lot of this stuff, this doesn't get across anything. This doesn't say anything at all. He's saying something, but he's not getting across any character. This gets across character. And this does. Like, these are accomplishing a goal of setting him apart, different from other characters. And they didn't accomplish anything with this. Like, this doesn't accomplish anything in a way that we haven't already accomplished more with less. The reason that I say this doesn't get across anything is because we already know that in a fighting game, none of these characters want to lose. All of them want to win. So them saying generic things about, like, you know, how they're going to win or how they're going to put pressure on the opponent, that's something that everybody would be saying anyways. It doesn't get across any idea of a character. Reyna, the new character, gets across something because it's like more of a dominant display. It's not just that I'm going to win big. But this doesn't get across anything. Everyone already knows that all of these characters want to win, so them saying that they want to win or they're going to beat you up, we already know that to be true. But this is a lot different, even though it's small. This is like the most smallest thing, and seemingly insignificant, but it's not insignificant. This is a big aspect of the character.
1, 2, 3, 4.